Avengers, assemble. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're enjoying the videos we produce, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, as it helps with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. And if you're in a position to support the channel, you can follow a link in the description below and check out our Patreon. You can assemble with us for as low as $1 a month. I want to take a moment and thank my Avenger and Founder level tiers. Thank you all so much for your continued support. It is greatly appreciated. For today's topic on Avengers Cut content, we're going to be tackling the very simple and straightforward one, but it's one I get asked about an awful lot. And this is, yet again, another character that we discovered all the way back in our Avengers 2020 beta data mines, and that is Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. She was going to be an active and robust hero, and she was going to make her introduction in the Kree Invasion DLC. This was going to be the Kree Invasion expansion, whatever kind of phrasing you want to use, but it was going to be equitable to War for Wakanda in terms of a center point hero, center point location. And again, those locations that Carol was going to be introduced with were going to be Adelan and the Himalayas. And we've talked about that in our Inhuman video in terms of cut content. And we've kind of briefly touched on that a little bit. And we're going to, again, briefly touch on Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. In terms of her lead character model, you already have seen it. She was featured in a poster in Kamala Khan's room. There was already recordings. There was already development being done on Carol. All of this can be found in the Avengers game. Dialogue where all of the heroes talk to Carol and interact with Carol. It's all there. Characters model. She was far along. She and the Kree Invasion DLC were nearly done. If Avengers hadn't come to the conclusion it had, honestly, this winter we probably would have been playing the Kree Invasion DLC. It would have been a huge release, and it's a shame that we couldn't get to that finish line to at least get Captain Marvel added. In terms of costumes, it's all pretty obvious and very straightforward. They were going to have tie-ins in terms of her green outfit from the comics, from the films. Every costume from the films was going to be represented, including they were also preparing for her appearances in the Marvels. All of this was being actively worked on. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, was a character that was actively being worked on. And her release with this big DLC push, in my opinion, would have been a huge turning point if we had got to it. If we had gotten to this point with the addition of the locations that they were adding, with the exploration, with the traversal, with the mechanics with Carol, if we had gotten to this point, I truly believe that this DLC would have been a turning point for the game. I said that all the way back when we were discussing, when we were actively data mining in our live streams, when we were covering this in depthly. I talked about it then, and I stand by it. This DLC, with the new enemy types, with the variety, with the bosses that they were introducing, with the characters they were introducing, it would have been a change. It would have been a huge turning point that people would have started paying attention to. And I truly believe that, because it would have started really opening up the world. And based on a lot of the talk and a lot of the things that I've been told, it's very clear that they were trying to master and streamline their release schedule, that they were doing their best to find an approach to it, but that they were constantly hindered by the Foundation engine. And if you've done any type of modding with Tomb Raider, or you've attempted to mod with Marvel's Avengers like I have, then you know how difficult the Foundation engine is. And when you want to build a live service game, this is not an engine to do it with. So the fact that they were tirelessly working, that these employees, not leadership, not the poor leadership, but when these employees were working so hard to get the engine figured out, to try to find a pipeline and a way to get things working in a manner that was very quick and very apt, their backs were against the wall. They just didn't have the budget. And I stand by it, and I've said this before, I said this years ago, and I stand by it now. Do not build a live service game on an in-house engine like Foundation. Just do not do it whatsoever. It's not wise. And that was leadership, that was executives not willing to look at partnerships, not willing to put money into using other engines, not making smart decisions, knowing the limitations of your engine, which could be a video in and of itself. So Carol Danvers was going to have, of course, her ranged ability. She was going to be able to fire Cosmic Blast. Her ultimate was going to be going binary. She had incredible flight mechanics. She apparently, the story's told, she could zoom through the map rapidly. We missed out on a powerful and incredible character. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a marvelous day. Bye, everyone.